Next class is about layer properties. Okay, so for layer properties, first create a new scene. Okay, the same default setting I am using here, and give the name layer properties. Okay, this is my composition. So in project panel, open any reference. So here import file. So on desktop, zip folder, After Effects. Here my layer properties references are there. So select these three and import. So imported all these things, right? Let us select one by one. So drag and drop on the composition panel. Here I am using Control Alt F, so that will fit with the whole comp area, and I am using spacebar to check the video. This is my video footage. Okay, now here I am using one more layer here. So this is the kids fan, and this is very big size. To fix that one, I am using Control Alt F. If you want to decrease the size, here we have options. Suppose see the properties, side properties also there. Generally in the previous versions, old versions, to control all the layers, particularly layer properties are here along with the timeline. But in the newer versions, the latest versions, the same properties are available in the right side here. Okay, same anchor point, position, scale, rotation, opacity, here also there. I will explain. Suppose here if you want to decrease the size, the scaleness can increase, and suppose decrease this one, this much I want, so keep this here, as well keep here more the small size. Yeah, this is, that's it. And one more thing is the third one. So I drag this sound one. This is my sound file. So drag this to the bottom. Okay. Then I am using space bar. Now here we have three layers are there. Okay, this is the first layer, the kids fan. So here it is showing that one. The next one is the petals rolling down. This is the next one is a sound. Okay, we have three layers. If you observe here we have some options already we explained in the previous class. So this is for the visibility, and this is for the mute, sound mutes options are there. Okay, so here it is one solo, hides all non-solo videos. So that means what? except that one other videos, right, they cannot show. So only at that one only. Example, suppose here I'm using this a solo and I'm using a space bar here. Now see, this is only showing, and here there is a numbers 1, 2, 3. Okay, the one is a kids fan PNG it is showing, and here it is a the reference, the video rolling down petals, and this is sound. Okay, if you double click here, that will show here, and if you double click here, only that one is highlighting, and this is only audio, right? And here some small button like arrow mark it is showing, so click on that. Here it is showing transform. Again click on the arrow, the sub option. Here we have options: anchor point, position, scale, rotation and opacity. The same options are available from the right side properties. See here, anchor point, position, scale, rotation and opacity. Okay, so you can use from this side or the right side top also. Okay, there is a the stopwatch like here. This is a anchor point. Then this is a stopwatch actually to give the keyframes and all. Okay, so no need to worry. In the coming class, I'll explain more clearly about what are keyframes. So when we start animation, I'll cover about in-depth keyframes. Okay, for the anchor point. So here I am giving one keyframe. Okay, it is added here, and suppose the values are showing here. Okay, and move this somewhere here. And drag this one. See, drag this one. For timing of the visibility of the petals, we will understand that one. Now see, I am using space bar here. So of the sound also, though I move the sound. Now see, it is moving here to here. So that is vertically it is moving, and suppose here the one side I'll move, suppose this side. Now see, it's going outside, it's going out. Now move this one. I'm using space bar here. Now it is went out. Yes, went out here. Yes, here I use 3 keyframes, here one and here one and here one. I'm using Control Z, coming back to a normal position. Okay, now here we have a position. So I'm changing this position. Here I'm giving this stopwatch. Okay, I'm giving the stopwatch. I'll place somewhere here and change this value. Now see, it is moving right side, so that means we are changing the position and it is moving to right side. So I am using the space bar so that it is moving. See here, from here to here we created a path. So between these two keyframes this object is moving. Okay, now here I am using down. The value here I am changing to this downwards. So now it is going to down. Okay, so depends on the values, so that will move. In the scaleness, I'll increase the scaleness here. Okay, so after reaching here, I'll increase the size, this much size. Now here to here it is decreasing the size, increasing the size and decreasing the size based on your key poses. And suppose here give rotations. After reaching here, give rotations. Okay, so it giving the rotation. These are the rotations I am giving. So after reaching that point it is giving the rotations, right? So now see, it is changing the positions and rotations also. The opacity, suppose here change the opacity and decrease here. Now see, because we have to give the keyframe, then I give the opacity down. So after reaching here it is disappearing. So these are all keyframes. I'll explain more clearly what are keyframes. Okay, so these are the properties for the layers. Each layer it has some properties. I'm clearing all the key poses. Same way here. For the video also we have transform. So transform is there. Under the transform here anchor points, the position and scaling. Suppose here at this area, after reaching in this area, here I want to give that position. I'll change this to here or otherwise there. Now see this one, I'll play space bar. Now see, it's going under, right? For animation, object animation or any character animation, mostly we use these. Yeah, here we have the waveform. It is showing. Okay, here you can increase and decrease this one. Suppose here, see, it is increasing and it is decreasing. So sometimes instantly inside the After Effects you can edit your sound files. And you can increase this one and can make it very low. No, it is very low. Yeah, Okay, so based on our requirement we use all these. Right, so the same way for each and every layer we have some properties. So these properties are very important to operate your keyframes and giving some values. And the same way here, the right side also, in the properties column we have the stopwatch. You can use the stopwatch, okay, and add the values for anchor point, position, scale, rotation and opacity. Okay, and suppose here use a control button and select any layer, okay, and use a tilde key below escape button. Suppose here this is my file, okay, click this layer and under the escape button there is a tilde key, press control and use the tilde key here. So that means what? This will open that entire the properties. What I did, I use the control and tilde key, okay, and suppose I'll do again. So select the layer, any layer, suppose this is the first layer, and I'm using control button and I'm using tilde key under the escape button. Now see here the properties are opened here. The same way I select this one and control and tilde key. So see all the properties are opening here, right? The same way press U button, it opens all under layer hidden keyframes are there, right? So suppose press U and again U. See here I'm using press U button. So what it is doing, it is opening all under layer hidden keyframes. There are any keyframes are there. See on the timeline here not showing the keyframes here, okay, I'm using U button on the keyboard. So here showing the keyframes. Again I'm using U button, now it is closing, and now see here I opened but nothing is there. Here I opened, nothing is there. That here keyframes are there, right? So if you want to see the keyframes, sometimes that will hidden the minimized layer. That time simply use U button on keyboard. So that will show entire the key poses. So these are the important shortcuts when you use in animating time. These are all about layer properties.